Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Primary Animal Healthcare with me, your girl, Dr. Nobs. Thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe. Trust me, it's free. YouTube will not be sending you a monthly bill to charge you for this. It's absolutely free to subscribe to my channel. All right, thank you everybody. Let's get into today's video. I think I've said it before previously on my previous video that disease prevention is the most important step to ensuring the success of primary animal healthcare. So that's what today's video is going to be about. It's all about disease prevention. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a vaccine program, having a vaccination program for your farm. All right. Let me take you guys to work with me so you can understand why I want to talk about this. Some people might be like, but no, we cannot still be talking about vaccination in 2021. Well, we have to still talk about vaccination in 2021 because of what I'm about to tell you, the story that I'm going to tell you guys. All right, let me tell you a story. Like I said, let me take you to work with me. When I get called out to farms to do a farm call outs, people would be like, my cattle are sick, my sheep are sick, my goat is sick. They'll just be calling me because something is wrong at the farm, right? Then I will go to the farm to do a disease investigation. When I get there, on top of doing a clinical exam, I also ask, or even before I do a clinical exam, I ask a brief history from the farmers of what happened, when did it start, how did it start, what did you see, how long has it been happening, and things like that. What are you feeding, right? And then another important question that I ask is, what is your vaccination history? And this is where all hell breaks loose, literally. This is where I'm like, okay, we still need to be talking about this, because most of the communal farmers, when I ask these questions, it's not all of them, but most of them, when I ask this question of what is your vaccination history, the answer that they give me is never what I'm looking for, right? And they usually give me an answer that shows me that they don't understand what vaccination is. They don't understand the difference between vaccination and treatment, the difference between vaccination and antibiotics. And studies have been done on this, and if you can read most of the articles where people were doing studies on primary animal healthcare within a communal setup, this is always the issue, that farmers still don't understand the difference between vaccination and treatment, vaccination and antibiotics, right? Today I'll just be talking about vaccination. So this is how farmers answer me. Okay, on their answers they mention a few products. I'm also going to mention these products on my video. This is not me saying that these products are bad. Please don't misunderstand. These products are good, but we're just not using them correctly. We're not using them how they should be used, right? And we sort of abusing them, if I can say it like that. This is why I'm going to mention the following products. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm not saying don't buy them. I'm saying use them, but use them correctly and use them with an understanding, right? So this is how farmers answer me when I ask, what is your vaccination history? Most farmers will be like, yeah, doc, no. Re entered the home ka terramycin, terralon, maxatet, atratet, soamycin, obamycin, terramycin again, right? And some of the farmers even go to the extent of going to collect all this box of medicines that they have, and they come show me. And all that's in there, it's oxytetracyclines, different types of them, different brands, if I can put it like that. Don't know if I'm making sense, but I hope so. And then, because there isn't different types of oxytetracyclines, only brands like who made it, like Speco, Prestige, and Basmati, sort of rice, sort of thing. If I'm making sense. But yeah, that's the answers that farmers give me, right? They will be mentioning all those antibiotics, and then they're gonna mention, well, all that one specific antibiotic, that's what they'll be mentioning. And then they'll also mention that they also do ivermectin, and then they also do vitamins, and then they'll also do some minerals, right? That's the answers that they give me when I ask for what is your vaccination history. Then immediately I'm like, okay, all right. And then just to try and not like undermine them or immediately jump into, no, but you're wrong. No, you need to understand where your person is coming from. Then I will ask further questions, and then I'll be like, okay, so how often do you use this? And then they'll tell me, some will say, once every month, some will say once every 3 months, some will say once every 6 months. Yeah, when I talk about using those products correctly and in the right situation, this is why I'm saying we need to keep talking about this. We cannot stop talking about it. So guys, that's the answer that they give me, and that's the wrong answer, because that is not a vaccination. I'm asking you what is your vaccination history, and you are giving me treatments. On top of that, you're not treating anything, because most of the time when you inject the animals, it's not that they're sick. If you're doing it every 3 months, are your animals sick every 3 months? If they are sick every 3 months, having the same problem, then maybe there's a big problem that you need to investigate. But anyway, out of that, no, now from those answers, then I immediately see that no, we need to keep talking about vaccination and what is vaccination and how is vaccination done and what's the difference between vaccination and treatment, vaccination and antibiotics, vaccination and Therolon and Theromycin, Maxtet and Atroptet. We also need to talk about Therolon, Theromycin, Atroptet, Maxtet, Obamycin and Somycin, because there is a confusion that these things are different. So I'll do a different video on the most commonly used antibiotic in the rural communal area. This is not saying don't use this, don't use it. This is not saying that the products are bad. This is saying use it, but use it correctly and use it under the correct circumstances. I'll make a different video about that. Today's video is about vaccination. So what is vaccination? I'm not going to go into trying and explain what vaccination is, because I feel like we all understand what vaccination is, but maybe we are getting lost in the translation. Usually in our mother tongue or the Venek way of saying things, when we ask what is vaccination, most of us will be like, okay, li enta ka in. Maybe the word ko enta, kutlaba, ukjova is a problem. So because if you directly translate who enter, it just means to inject. But inject with what, right? So maybe we also, us as a profession, we also need to start phrasing the question differently. So now I'm in the habit of asking, but even on top of me asking it like that, I'm still getting answered the same way that I was answered when I asked Li Entaka in, right? Meaning that there's a bit of a problem. But all right. Before I get into what is vaccination, let me tell you guys a story. When you get sick, when your cows get sick, when your sheep and your goats and your dogs get sick, right? What happens is in all living beings' body, there is what they call antibodies, right? There's immune cells. There is soldiers. To make it simple, it's soldiers of the body. You've got soldiers in your body that defend you against certain diseases, right? And those soldiers, once they've been exposed to a new disease, in future, they remember how to fight off that very same disease. If it's still the same disease, if it's nothing new, if it's something they've been exposed to before, they are able to defend themselves against that very same disease in future if it comes, because they make what you call memory soldiers. Those memory soldiers come back and fight harder that very same disease that had attacked you previously, right? That's what happens in your body if you get infected or if you get exposed to a new bacteria or a new virus, just a new infection that you didn't know, right? You have those soldiers ready to fight for you, but those soldiers can be better prepared, right, in future. So if we know about a specific disease and we know it exists, what we do now, some incredible person, I'm not sure who, just some incredible person created vaccines. Now, what are vaccines? Vaccines is like imitation of a disease, if I can put it like that. It's copying the real thing, but it's not the real thing, but it's the real thing, right? So what happens is now within a vaccination, they're gonna give you a weak form or a dead form of a disease. They're gonna inject it on your body or on the animal's body, so that your body can create those little soldiers that I will be able to remember when the real thing comes. I hope I'm making sense. Right. Let me take it back to what's happening now in South Africa with the pandemic, with COVID and everything. COVID is a new thing. Nobody knew about COVID before, right? This COVID that we are experiencing, right? So there was no vaccine to it. So everybody's being exposed to it for the first time, right? Now they are making a vaccine to expose people who haven't been exposed yet to the virus, right? So that you can make little soldiers that will remember COVID in future if you ever experience it. And that way, it will prevent you from getting severely ill or even getting sick at all, right? I just hope I'm making sense and I hope you guys understand. So that's what vaccination is essentially. It's you actively acting before there's a problem in your farm. It's you actively preventing a disease before the disease arrives. Now, there is this tendency of people know what vaccination is, like I said. There's a tendency of you know that the rains come with specific diseases, but then you don't prevent against those diseases. Why? Then you wait and you want to panic when the neighbors are saying, "Khona le serutswana, khona le lumpy skin, khona le." That's when everybody wants to react. Or when your animals start getting sick, that's when you want to react, and then you do things wrong, because now your animal is sick. It doesn't need vaccination, it needs treatment, right? Because now when the animals are sick, people run to the nearest co-ops or shops, whatever they go to, and then they'll be like, "Okay, my animals are dropping one by one, what can I do?" Then the next thing they come back, they have bought a vaccine. Now they inject all the animals, including the sick animals, with the vaccine. No, that's not how it works. Vaccinations are only used on healthy animals, guys, because it takes a couple of weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, 2 to 6 weeks, for those little soldiers to be able to be fully formed so that they can defend that animal against any disease that may come their way, or that disease that you have vaccinated against, right? That's how a vaccination works. So now if you use a vaccine while your animals are sick, it's not going to work, because you didn't give the soldiers of the body enough time. You didn't give them enough time to learn how to defend themselves against that specific disease. You vaccinated at the wrong time. So you need to vaccinate at the right time. Have a vaccine program. Another challenge with communal farmers is they say that vaccines are expensive, which I don't understand why. I understand why to a certain extent. Let me not say I don't understand why. But I think you're just not making a plan, right? You guys are mostly farming in communal areas. So you are like between 1 to 7 or between 1 to 10 farmers in one farm, right? Each of you having 30, 15, 20, 50, 70, some even have 500 in the very same land, right? But then you're saying vaccines are too expensive. It's because you're not working together. Form groups, work together, then have a vaccine program for that communal land, for that communal farm together, so that we do things together. Like when you have a vaccine program for the whole farm, for everybody in the farm, then you know you do things together at the same time, and you know what you are doing. Then you don't panic when everybody around you is busy saying there is this disease, because you will know that you have vaccinated against it. So you need to make sure you have a vaccine program for your farm, and it will be cheaper if you guys did it together. Because now if you have 15 and the bottle is 50 doses, you're going to be losing money if you're going to buy a 50-dose bottle to only inject 15 animals. But if you have a neighbor who also has 15 and another one who has 10, you guys buy one bottle together and you vaccinate at the same time, you're going to save money. So that's what vaccination is, guys. Vaccination is a prevention. It is a protection. That's what it is. It's a protection. It's just like before you go run the big marathon, people go train. They train. You run 5 kilometers during the week. You run 3 kilometers, you run 10 kilometers to get you to the big marathon. You can't wake up today and go run 45 kilometers when you've never ran in your life. You will kill yourself. Understand? You'll injure yourself. So you need to train. It's the same thing. That's what you're doing with vaccination. You are training the animal to defend themselves against future diseases. Right. Yeah, I don't know how more to put it, but that's the best that I could do for today. If you have any more questions, like I said, drop me an email and I will kindly answer all your questions. I will have a question and answer session on my YouTube channel. You guys can ask me questions and then I can make a video and answer those questions for you guys. Thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. Like I said, it's really free. It doesn't cost you anything. You just have to click that subscribing button. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.